Hello, hello, hello. My name is Audrey Hamilton, and I am the Entrepreneurial Assistant. I am a business coach, a virtual project manager, and a network marketer. Tonight, I have Kathleen Griffith with us as we're talking about having a mindset of success. So, hey, Kathleen, would you like to tell us a bit about yourself, what you like to do in your free time, or...
Yeah, I got it. Call me Kat, though. Like, let's get casual. Okay, so what do I do in my free time? Well, I have horses, and I have dogs, and I have cats. And so I take care of those. But if I had my choice, I would be hiking, camping, or kayaking all the time and traveling.
Very cool. I love to hike. We got woods around here. If you ever want to come to North Carolina, we got woods around here. We can go hiking.
I'm down. Yes, let's do it.
We also have a lake like a minute up the road. So, I mean, seriously, come visit me sometime. We'll do all the things together.
I might be moving in.
I wouldn't mind that. Except for you. Yeah, you'd have to move down the road a little or something. But
you're like, move close, Kat, not in.
Yeah, exactly. Close, not in. But yeah. So tell us a little bit about your business.
Yeah. So like you, I have my hand in a few different places. I also came into business through network marketing. Well, let me back up. I had my own horse training business for much of my adult life. So I came right out of the gate owning a business. And then I had some health struggles and really had to reevaluate what I wanted to do. And so in my 40s, I went back to graduate school and I got a master's in social work. So for the first time in my life, I found myself actually working a job. And of course, got that itch and started in network marketing. And about 2 years ago, I got into my first coaching program, fell in love with it. It totally matched what I wanted to do and what I felt like I was already on the path to doing. And so I became a coach.
Very, very cool. So how long have you been doing it again?
So I would say I've been saying I was doing it for a couple of years, but I actually really got serious about it probably about 6 months ago. I've also been working as a therapist for about almost 12 years now. So working as a therapist, training horses and teaching people, I feel like I've been coaching my entire life. Now I'm just stepping into it like with a title. Yeah. And so, created a course and started a group and all the things.
Yeah. By the way, I do love your website. I love your whole theme with the oceans and everything. Those like cool. that pretty blue green. I get like kind of nerdy when it comes to like branding and business setup. And I love your setup. I mean, it's just really pretty.
Thank you.
So what would you say? Like, okay, we did. So what really inspired you to get into all the therapy and the horse training and everything?
You know,
I mean, how did that kind of come around?
How did that? Yeah, people used to kind of make this like, what? Like, how does a horse trainer become a social worker, first of all? Which to me, it's a very natural thing, and I'll explain it. And then to therapy, to coaching. So as a horse trainer, especially a competitive horse trainer, you're dealing with families who own their pets and compete with them. And it's expensive. So you're dealing with people, with emotions, with competition. There's a lot of emotions. And so like managing people's emotions and how to accomplish something through that was basically what I did. And so When I went to graduate school, it was just to get the degree to actually do the thing in a different format in my mind. And I use a lot of what I learned in my business before to this day. And then so the goal always was to be a counselor, to be a therapist. And so through that process, I also would take trainings, and I learned to train in a couple things, and I created a curriculum for another agency. I did a ton of volunteer work. And so coaching and, curriculum development, it's something I've been doing all along for other people.
That's awesome. So I know your business, you're a transformation and business coach. So I'm just kind of wondering, like, your process with that. You work more with the mindset side of it.
So I've landed on clarity and transformation coach. I have figured that helping people gain clarity on what they want to do has been it's turned into a passion of mine. And a lot of coaches start with mindset. And I figured out that I have this unique perspective. The process of figuring it out before the mindset is messy. And most coaches are like, ugh, I want to stay away from that. But I'm a therapist. I thrive on that. And so I'm like, let me dive into the muck with you and help you figure it out and help you come out ready to go. So that's kind of where I figured out that I could fill a gap in the industry and help people. And it really came from my own experience. In my first coaching program, it was great. I learned a ton, but I came out also not knowing, after a year, still not knowing what I wanted to do with it. And I knew other people who came through coaching programs that felt the same way. So.
Yeah. So, like, how would you describe that muckiness? Like, the process. Like, well, I know that there is a lot of work to do. Like, for me, especially, I've had to go from being a virtual assistant, to then, like, continuing to grow from that. But in the long run, I'm great with processes for, like, websites and all that kind of foundation for online business, but I don't have that process for the mindset. So what does that kind of look like kind of steps, phases, or anything?
That is such a great question. I actually have created a method called the Clarity Method that I'll probably trademark. I just started using it like 2 weeks ago with people.
You should. I mean, that sounds great.
Yeah. I think it's going to be amazing. So, but it really does take someone who really wants to figure it out, because that process is kind of, when you get into network marketing, there are people that are there to do the work, and there are a lot of people who want the benefits but aren't really sure how to do the work or if they're even willing to, right? There's a lot of people who quit when it gets hard. And so when you're talking about, do you really want to figure this out? Do you really want those dreams to come true? Do you really want to live your passion? Then if that's true, then it's about, even so many women, we grow up taking care of other people. I talk to so many women who don't know what they're passionate about. They don't know what their strengths are. They don't know what they actually want because they're so busy making sure other people get it. And so they have to be willing to actually like sit still and look inward. And it's hard. It can be really scary because it's uncharted territory. So for most of us, we need someone there with us for that. And so that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, I love it. I do love it. So what does a mindset of, now we'll go kind of more on topic that kind of led into it, but what does a mindset of success look like to you?
Yeah, that's such a great question. And I was so excited when you asked me to even talk on this topic, because it really did force me to dig in and think about that. So One thing that is important to know about me personally is I take I'm going to say a feminist approach. It's not really feminist in the way that you think of it, like politically, though. It's more of a perspective of openness and an acknowledgement that our systems that we've grown up in, that we have learned from, have all been from a masculine perspective. And so a lot of times we come into business as women and we try to fit in by go, 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 hustle harder. Like you're feeling the pain, just push on through.
Yeah. But, and that's also how we're, like you said, too, that's kind of how we've been doing things, trying to help other people too. We're always the go, go, go kind of thing. At least for me, I'm a mom. I have two, and I'm always on the go.
Right. Yeah. So, and like, I know so many women who are like, hold on, I've got to go hide in the closet from my kids for the Zoom, right?
Yes, exactly. I feel it totally.
Yep.
I mean, here I am. Both my kids are asleep in bed. I cannot do anything throughout the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Right?
I know that about you. You
outside.
work late at night. And so, so like recognizing that, that adaptability, but also finding your flow and finding, actually being willing to sit still and like figure out what works for you does not have to fit into the mainstream business model. And I think it's a really hard concept to get because we're so programmed, right? Like we work this many hours a week. We work harder if feel like it's not enough. And I learned a really important lesson recently where I had to step back. I was exhausted. I was burned out. And I took like 2 weeks to really not like watch any videos, not do any learning. I'd been going hard for about 2 years, and my business grew more during that time. And when I came back in a more relaxed way than when I was trying to hustle harder and do the things and fit into that masculine mindset. So we as women have to create opportunities a lot of times. Nobody's going to, that's the thing I love about men. Let me just say that. Men are not afraid to say no to people, to step up and create their own opportunities, or to push their way into spaces where they might not have been invited, right? And we need to learn to do that, we as women.
Definitely.
And so just like recognizing, and that takes us supporting each other. That's the other thing I want to say. That is a very feminine perspective. We are not in competition with each other. You and I are a perfect example, actually, because we work with a lot of similar people. Our avatar, if you will, or our niche are pretty similar. And yet here we are together, like sharing with your audience. And I think that's beautiful. I love that about this new movement of women stepping into business. So I think I got a little off topic, but
no, you're fine. No, you're totally fine. No, this is your time. This is our time. So
okay, perfect. So you asked, what is a mindset of success? It is, for me, it is about being open and curious. That's a really important piece. And a lot of times it's also about, and this was hard for me in the beginning, knowing there's a solution out there. There is a way to figure things out. It might be with help. It might be on our own. It might be through tapping or releasing trauma or going to therapy while we create a business. Whatever it is for us, it's incorporating of many things. It's not a linear path.
Yeah, definitely. Yep. For one thing, business is, there's no roadmap. You just go for it. You don't hope for the best. You create your own opportunities.
Yeah.
And you make things work as best as you can. Whatever's in your power. If it ends up later on falling like a ball of like a meteor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it falls, but you give it your best shot. And you
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be giving up on your dreams. The word impossible doesn't fully exist. You have a chance to make
I love
everything
that.
work.
I love that
So,
perspective.
but so what are some examples you would give someone who is kind of struggling with having that mentality of success? Like if they fully thought that it was impossible, that they are failures, what would you kind of suggest to them to help them out?
So one really important thing is recognizing what our thoughts are. I'm big on this, and this is my own personal learning that helped me kind of get here. Our negative self-talk came from outside of ourselves, generally, whether it was subconscious messaging, whether it was comparing ourselves to other, whether it was family members telling us we're fat, whatever it is, like it came from outside of ourselves. We were not born with low self-esteem. And we were not born with low self-confidence. Think about little kids. Like they stand up and fall 5,000 times. They don't just lay on the floor and go, I quit. Yeah. They're bold, audacious little humans. It's the messages from those of us around us that kind of create that internal dialogue that we create, right? So I think one thing is important. Recognize that we are now carrying the message and we can put that shit down. We don't have to keep carrying it. So that's one thing. I cannot emphasize this enough. Surround yourself with other people who are shooting for success. And one of the things I hear often is, if you're the smartest person in the room, find another room. You are not going to grow around people who are not striving, not driving to something, not shooting for something, doesn't have goals. They can be the most beautiful, amazing people in your life. But if that's where you want to stay, that's awesome. And that could be on mindset too. I'm not saying like just about business. If I want to be confident, I need to hang out with confident people. Mm-hmm. If I want to say nice things to myself, I need to hang out with other people who say nice things to themselves and don't spread negativity. Like that's kind of what I mean. If you want something, internal, external, it doesn't matter. Spend time around others who do that thing.
Yeah. It reminds me, I can't remember the exact one right now, but the saying where your circle really determines who you become, who your closest friends are.
Yeah, and I used to hate that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it though, because I was for a while, I wasn't hanging around with people who were really great for me.
Yeah.
And now that, especially like the women entrepreneurs drinking chats, when I surround myself with you ladies, I mean, it's amazing. I mean, we all have a lot of fun. And
we do.
It's great. It's a great time. And by the way, we are having our Women Entrepreneurs Drink and Chat this coming Friday. If you guys want the link to register for that, let me know. But I'm excited. It starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, definitely your circle of friends really determines who you kind of become yourself. So I do love that. So is there anything else?
It also doesn't mean like ditch your family. It doesn't mean like get rid of everyone in your life. It just means be mindful of who you share time with and space with. Mm-hmm. And like if Aunt Susie is always negative, Aunt Susie's going to be on the phone with me once a month and we're going to have our obligatory chat, right? I can tell her I love her and she can stay at a distance. I don't need Aunt Susie's negativity.
Exactly.
Does that make sense?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So anything else you want to add to that? Any other thoughts, actions, or anything to help with the mindset?
About having a mindset for success?
Yes.
Yeah. So mindset, just that word, I think it's really important. Our mindset is a set of beliefs that we have turned into our story, right? Like we can talk about our money mindset. That was a huge journey for me. We can talk about our beliefs about our abilities, our, whether it's success or not. It's interesting because I've been told I come across as really confident, but truthfully, my mindset 2 years ago was vastly different than right now. I spent an entire year diving into money mindset books, podcasts, topics, and I have to stay aware that my old mindset, my old story can creep up on me if I don't hold it at bay, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's important to think about, because we can do the things, right? Like talk to the people, reach out to leads, all the things that go with business. But if we're secretly sabotaging ourselves, it's going to just be more and more frustrating, because our energy enters a room before we do physically.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I feel that. So,
mindset is all about the mind. I guess control your thoughts, control your mind, and you will be set.
Yes, definitely. So you were just talking about podcasts, and I just got to ask, what is one of your favorite podcasts? I'm always looking for some more, and currently I'm out of podcast ideas. So if you guys also have any podcasts that anyone watching this likes, please drop them in the comments. But what is one that you like, Kat?
Okay, can you repeat the question, because it totally cut out on me?
Okay, no problem. What is one of your favorite podcasts? What's one of the best ones you've enjoyed the most? Or
wow. Okay. Yeah, there's a few. All In with Allie is phenomenal. I love her. Rob Dial, I think it's the Mindset Mentor, is really good. Now, I'll just warn you, if y'all are anyone who doesn't like cussing, like I cuss, people I'm drawn to cuss. I know, no, Audrey, you are so clean in your language. I'm just saying Rob Dial. So Rob Dial cusses.
That's fine.
Rachel Rogers is my absolute favorite author and coach, and I would listen to her all day, every day.
Rachel Denise what?
Rogers. She wrote We Should All Be Millionaires.
Okay.
And Denise Duffield Thomas, Denise DT, she wrote Get Rich Lucky Bitch. She has a podcast called The Chillpreneur.
Okay. Chillpreneur. I like that sound.
Yeah. Yeah. She's really big on money mindset. She teaches money mindset. Okay. But she is also very big on finding the easiest way, like finding ways to flow and not making things hard. As an overthinker.
I'm not an overthinker over here. I mean, literally, I'm sometimes on Zooms with my clients, and they literally see my wheels turning. I'm like, ooh, what's the best way to do this? How do I do this for them and stuff like that? I'm like, you literally still see the wheels.
Oh yeah. Yep. So you would like Denise DT. She's great. She is really good.
Sounds good. So tell us a little bit about your program.
Okay, awesome. So
or a lot about your program, however much you want to. I mean, we still have a good 30 minutes at most or so.
Yeah, so I'm actually getting ready to launch it in October. And I'm so excited about it, because actually I did a pre-launch, I don't know, 6 months ago, and it's really feeling like oh look, I'm looking at my earrings just flashing in the
it's they're so pretty.
So I was feeling like there was thank you. I bought them from a local artist, and they have a piece of turquoise that's banging around on the metal. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, there was a piece of the course that I really wanted to expand. I wasn't really sure where to go with it and how to kind of enhance that section, but it was, to me, the most important section of it. And I recently got certified on, it's called the Velocity Method. It incorporates human design and some somatics and some other really cool things. And it's like, oh, that was it. That was the piece that was missing, that spiritual connection to growth. And so here's the program. It's called Awaken Academy. I am starting a waiting list for people who want to join. And when I launch it, my goal is to have, and I'm going to cap it, 10 people, no more. And so there will be, it's basically to get people from confusion to launch. So it could be for the person who knows they were meant for more, or knows that they want to do something, they're not sure which, what, how. It could also be from someone who's already successful in one thing, but wants to get clear on some other thing they want to do or offer. And so I literally will help them figure that out, co-create a roadmap for them to literally handheld step by step to get to a place where at the end of the time, they are either ready to launch or they are launched. So it will include some of the somatics and human design, and it will include that clarity method that I'm trademarking, and it will include all kinds of cool things. So it's a 6-month program. It's actually more like a 4-month program with 2 months more of support. So I'm really excited about it. And yeah, it's and impact driven. So people who are impact driven, for me as a social worker, someone who's really all about making the world a better place, those are the people I want to work with.
Sounds awesome. So your clarity method, I completely forgot to ask earlier. Are you, if it's not going against everything you're going on the program, would you be willing to share what that method looks like?
Yeah, so clarity is the goal. It is also the acronym for the steps that I will walk people through, basically to get from a place of, and actually the first step of it, I borrowed from Denise DT, if that's a little clue for you. It is really a way to help people kind of, you asked earlier, like, what does digging through the mud look like? It looks like, let's lay it all out. Like, let's lay out our fears. Let's lay out all the things that hold us back. Let's lay out all the things that keep us stuck. And let's kind of dig our way through that piece by piece. And then there's going to come a point where you just have to decide. It doesn't have to be forever, but you got to decide on one thing to work on for a certain amount of time so that we can drive that thing down the road. Let's get somewhere, right?
Definitely.
And so that's really what it's about. And so the clarity method is something that people could work through once, several times, could revisit a year down the road. It doesn't matter. But it is really a way to kind of get through that process. And that's the piece I did not have. That's why I created it.
Very cool. Very cool. So what would your impossible goal look like for your business?
So my not impossible at all goal would be to be able to work, like actually work 3 days a week. I want to live in a camper for a minimum of 1 year, traveling from state and national park to the next, running my business from that camper. And
when you use that camper, come to North Carolina, we will go kayaking.
Oh, I will, girl. You know I will.
Earlier.
I might have to plug into your place, but
that would be fine. That was the other suggestion I was going to bring up. Then I was like, you know what? I can't have her just living in a camper. But I would gladly. That would be fine. Yeah. You can live on my property, but you have to plug in.
Absolutely. Done. So done. No, it's something I've always wanted to do, whether it's with other people or not. I mean, it's better with other people, right? But currently I'm single, so if that's how it has to be, whatever. But the ability to work from anywhere, and my other part of my not so impossible dream is to have an annual retreat full of the people that are working on these things together. I think that's ultimately, I want a TED Talk. I want an annual retreat. I want a beautiful camper that I can live in full time. And I want to travel wherever the hell I want, whenever the hell I want, and build my business from wherever I am.
Yes, that sounds awesome. So where do you see yourself at the end of the year? We're already past the halfway point.
Are we past? Yeah, we're a couple months
We're already
past
past
halfway,
it.
aren't we?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like in
2
4
months
months,
behind.
basically.
Yeah, 2 months.
Well, I will be launched, and my goal is to have 10 beautiful souls working through this program with me. So October, if I launch in October, November, December, there's only 2 months. So I won't be through that program, but I will be sharing in people's successes already by that point. And yeah, sky's the limit.
Yes. Awesome. So is there anything else you would like to add?
What would I like to add? I don't know. I don't know what I would like to add. I mean, if anyone wants to have a conversation with me, I'm an open book. They can always reach me through you. And I just so appreciate you sharing this space with me and allowing me to come in and share from my heart the way that I have. So thank you.
I'm glad you agreed. I've been wanting to start these Q&As back up, so I have a few people,
Awesome.
yeah, we're about to have a few more people lined up for the next few weeks.
Cool.
So definitely check that out. In the next month or 2 months or so, we're having we're starting up an Entrepreneurial Summit. And Kat is one of our first guest speakers. She will be talking about the foundation of mindset. Again, you guys can easily there's no registration right now. You just have to be part of the group Entrepreneurs community. We are steadily growing. As of today, we have 699 people. I wish I could have said that we had a full 700 today, but I had one request today that asked, and I was just like, I think that's a scam, so I did not let it in. So we had 700.
You had 700, but you didn't. You are being picky, and that is your right and your responsibility to the people.
I have a right. This group here is meant to be just amazing. I don't want a lot of people just coming in and promoting their offers or giving halfway deals and scamming people or anything like that. I want this to be a safe space. So that is why we are not at 700 people today.
I think that's the best reason of all.
But it was just kind of funny. I was like, I might have 700. And then I saw one more person join. I was like, we have 700. So I had to write that. So I'm sorry. But we're
it's interesting because in my group, I have really been very slow about curating the invites. And so I put it out there, just an open invite, and suddenly had a bunch of people come in. But I'm like, oh my God, I don't know who's in my group. And I don't know that I like that. Like, I don't know if it's worth it to just have random people in your group. So
I think it is fun because you
having
get
random
to build that connection. When they join your group, you can send them messages. You can get to look at their profile, and you already know they're in your group. They're already interested in something you have to offer. Or here is the extra community. So they're looking for community. There's a reason they're joining the entrepreneurs community is to have that community coming in. And so it's kind of fun being able to introduce them, myself to them, being able to build a kind of relationship and get them into that community spirit. And it's fun. My 3 words in the group are inspire, motivate, and uplift. And that's what we try to do here. And so
it's interesting saying that, Audrey, because I have met several people that you can hear me, but I met several people in your group that I have connected with, that we've like coordinated things. It's been real. The women in this group, I think it's mostly women, like mine is.
Yeah, we're mostly women. We have guys
talk to
in
people
here, so it's just But we have guys.
I have some men,
as well, but
mostly women though.
Yeah,
love it.
Yep.
Very cool.
But it's fun. It's fun. And the guys in here, we appreciate you guys too. You guys need to talk. You guys have to engage so that we ladies know you guys are here, because everyone who comes in is like, oh, this is a women's group. No, it's not. It's a guys and girl group. But you guys don't talk.
Same. It's so true. Yeah. Like, I think I picture the men in my group just like off hiding in the corner.
I just see them lost. I just see them as they're here, and all of us girls are talking. And just like if one guy were in a room with a bunch of women, and he's just silent, sitting in a corner, just what do I do? I don't know. That's what I picture.
But I don't feel bad about that, because they have plenty of spaces. Yeah, I'm okay with that. They have plenty of their own spaces. So
exactly. But okay. So anyhow, you guys could check out what Kat does. I left her link up in the description, so you guys can go check out her business there. Already go check out her Awaken Academy, and I think there's a book a call button there, or book something with you. Okay. Worst case, just message Kat. She's also should be tagged here, or I'll be tagging her as soon as this video is done. That way you guys can message her, and you guys could already like talk to her about the program and get on that wait list. So you guys don't want to miss out on that. Remember, only 10 spots. And then we'll see you when I come out with the summit. So, all right. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Kat, for joining us. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening.